Hi, my name's Kane Tack.
I'm Craig McGinley. I'm Elliot Best.
And my name's Luke King, and this is our XS2500 Assignment 1, coaching the second pull for the clean.
Take 6.
The following assignment contains an instructional video on how to successfully and progressively perform the second pull, which is the second movement or power phase of the clean or snatch exercise in Olympic weightlifting, which involves triple extension involving the hips, knees and ankles, and the second pull comes after the first pull and before the catch phase. Olympic lifting, as mentioned, contains two main lifts or events, which are the snatch and the clean and jerk. This is suggested by Glassman 2006. In the presentation, we will be coaching the second pull phase and focusing on the power clean. For this video, we will consider the NAMSET approach to coaching the lift, which involves the name of the exercise, areas worked, the muscles used, silent demonstrations, and also explaining and teaching the exercise. The clean is a high power output exercise that utilizes both upper body and lower body strength and core stability. Again, this is suggested by Glassman 2006. The clean requires great athleticism and mobility to be performed. This type of training involves lifting heavy loads at high velocity, which results in a high power output, suggested by Baumann et al. 1988. The UAP, or the Universal Athletic Position, is to be considered and used in this exercise and everyday sports, as it involves bending over and standing in an athletic stance when lifting for explosive movement. There are many variations of the clean, which we will mention in the video, including the hang, the power clean, the hang power clean, and the high hang power clean, and also a standard clean. The appropriate grip for this lift is to adopt the hook grip, which we will also cover.
Now we're going to go over the variations of the clean. There's the high hang clean, which is where you hold the bar at mid-thigh height with your arms straight. The regular clean, which is the power clean. The hang clean, which is where you hold the bar just above your knees with your shoulders over the bar, almost like a deadlift. The clean and jerk press, which is where you do a clean and jerk, so the power clean, and then you push it above your head and push it up. Each of the variations of the clean depend on the ability of the athlete and the previous experience in Olympic weightlifting.
Suggested by Bumper et al. 1998, the main muscles used in the clean are the gastrocnemius medial head, gastrocnemius lateral head, gluteus maximus, latissimus dorsi, infraspinatus, teres major, the deltoids, anterior, medial and posterior, the trapezius, bicep brachii, pectoralis major, triceps brachii, tibialis anterior, the quadriceps, also the vastus lateralis, the vastus intermedius, vastus medialis, and the rectus femoris, the sartorius, tensor fasciae lata, external oblique, serratus, and the rectus abdominal.
Once the bar is mid-thigh in the power position, the athlete should maintain a flat back and keep the centre of shoulders behind the back of knee and keep in front of the hip. Remember to keep your feet flat over the floor with straight arms, and the centre of your hips should be over the feet. Remember, the bar should be resting on the thigh and there shouldn't be a gap between the bar and the thigh. If there is a gap, it can make an unsafe bar path and lead to injury. Once moving into the triple extension, the athlete should retain that flat back. However, this time the athlete will move up onto their toes with their shoulders behind the hips, with the hips, knees and ankles all extended. The second pull is so powerful that without the hook grip, where the thumb is held tightly against the bar by the fingers, the grip cannot be maintained, suggested by Glassman 2006.
Coaching the second pull. To start the second pull off, you're going to lift forcefully by extending the hips. The bar is going to be in contact with the thighs and as close to the body as possible to enable a good bar path. Your back will maintain a flat position, your arms should be straight and in a locked position with elbows out. You're going to reach an extended power position with the hips, knees and ankles, also known as triple extension. Simultaneously, in the triple extension position, begin to shrug the shoulders in an upward motion while keeping elbows out to shrug the weight. When the shoulders reach the highest point in the shoulder shrug, flex the elbows to catch the bar.
As shown by the athlete in our demonstration, the feet are shoulder width apart while adopting the hook grip for the first pull phase. The first pull phase is when the bar is pulled from the floor in a similar position to a deadlift position, however the hips are higher and feet are at a slightly wider stance. As you can see, the athlete performs the second pull with the weights lifting from the heels onto the balls of the feet. The lift is highly reliant on triple extension of the hips, knees and ankles to force the bar upwards to the catch position, as shown below in slow motion.
According to Hugh et al. 2009, the purpose of the warm-up is to activate and mobilise the key muscles used in the lift and increase joint viscosity. It also prepares the athlete physically and mentally for the exercise. One exercise to consider while warming up is the clean pull. So first off, you're going to do the first and second pull motion of the clean with the bar starting just below your knees, and then you're going to thrust upwards and bounce the bar off your hips so the bar comes up towards your chest. Make sure that you are thrusting and not rowing so that it's not all arms. This practices the motion of the second pull in order to catch the bar successfully. Another exercise would be the front squat. There you'd have the bar resting on your shoulders in front of your neck while holding it and making sure your elbows are out in front of you and are at a high level with your shoulders. Then do a squat, making sure that your feet are shoulder width apart with your feet pointing just slightly outward, and make sure that your back stays straight and you do not arch it. Other exercises to consider are the hang clean pull and Romanian deadlifts. Some basic dynamic stretching would be spider lunges, downward dogs, good mornings, internal and external hip rotations, and according to Haf Trajano et al. 2014, all of these are great stretches for flexibility and mobility.
The phases for the clean are the first pull, transition phase, second pull and the catch. Although we're focusing on the second pull, it's also important to consider the other phases. So the first pull is when the bar is first pulled from the floor, similar to a deadlift, where the hook grip is adopted to grab the bar, which enables you to relax the forearms and avoid pulling with your arms, which is putting the fingers around the bar over the thumb. The first pull phase is when the bar is pulled from the floor and is taken just above knee height, which involves driving up with the quadriceps to lift the bar. The aim of this is to begin the upward movement and momentum of the bar and set the athlete up for a good second pull, suggested by Bayshall 2000. The second pull involves triple extension of the hips, knees and ankles, also known as the power phase, when the knees rebend under the barbell and the weight shifts from the heels to the balls of the feet. It's aggressive extension of the hips, knees and ankles to thrust and shrug the bar up and catch it on the anterior deltoids, where the contact is made between the barbell and the body. The catch involves the lifter explosively raising the bar as high as possible before dropping into a front squat position and receiving it on the shoulders. Also, at this stage, the bar should have enough momentum to travel upwards, and the athlete rapidly dips into a squat position and catches the bar with the elbows in front. It's important to keep the elbows high so that the bar can rest on the anterior deltoids, which provides a shelf for the bar.
Some progressions and regressions to consider would be the deadlift, front squat, hang position and catch position, the power shrug, jump shrug, power shrug plus row and catch, and the power clean. In terms of progressions wise, you can increase the weight of the bar, resulting in more power output and resistance. Regressions, you could lower the weight of the bar, resulting in lower output and easier difficulty to pull and catch the bar. Do the hang clean as this adopts the UAP, the Universal Athletic Position, resulting in more drive through the hips and legs.
Some key examples of common faults when performing the second pull is that when in the power position, pulling with the arms is a key common fault, as the bar may bounce or hit off the thigh, or the athlete may swing the bar, which may cause the shoulders to be too far forwards. Also, as shown in the diagram on the video, a rounded back, also known as spinal flexion, is a key common fault, as this can lead to back injuries and other serious injuries. Also, on the other diagram on the video, the elbows are not high enough and the bar should be resting on the anterior deltoids with the elbows much higher to reduce strain on the wrists. Many aspects of the clean can be transferred to sporting performance, such as adopting the UAP when pulling. The prime example of the UAP in sport would be a tennis player waiting to return a serve by adopting this position for moving explosively and quickly to return the shot. Weight must be on the balls of the feet and the body low down to allow explosive movement to transfer the weight. The use of triple extension can also transfer to performance in many sports, such as exploding off the blocks when sprinting. Also, transfer to performance because it enhances joint mobility, which transfers into sport because all sports require the athletes to be mobile so that they can move freely without injuring themselves. An example of this would be good mobility in gymnastics. Also, it improves coordination of overall athletic movement. This can transfer into sports because it means the athlete will be better at whole body exercises such as running or jumping, etc.